Yes, yes. We are back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another great week of Twisted Transitions. We've got a great show in store for you today, and I'm feeling good today. It's cold everywhere, so I'm not even going to ask whether or not you guys are cold where you're at, how much snow you got, because frankly, we didn't get any snow here, so it don't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I mean, no snow here, all this threat of snow, and we get nothing. Zero. It's 30 degrees outside right now, though. You can see your breath in the air, but no snow. Barely any ice. I mean, we've only had a couple of situations where there's been some ice issues, but for the most part, Columbia, South Carolina is just as dull today as it was the beginning of this week, last week, and the week before. Nothing new to report here as far as that goes. So, hope you guys are having a good day so far, man. I really appreciate the love and the immediate attention that you guys have shown coming in immediately here, man. I love that. That's great. I'm going to get to some of these. Man, you guys are in the chat already going crazy, man. I'm going to get to some of these chat comments here because I got some things that I need to address in the chat real quick before I get started. But we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, and we're going to get to it here. But let me address these folks in the chat here. Let's say what's up. Let's see. So Entertainment DJs, what's good, man? What's happening? Appreciate you stopping through. Dennis 50 plus, what's good? Appreciated the drone clips. You know, it was just something I figured that if I'm going to have you guys wait for 5 minutes, because I always start the live 5 minutes before, that way I come on at exactly 12. But if you're going to be here 5 minutes early, I give you some visuals to look at and stuff, man, or just to have on your TV while you straighten up the last couple of things before you sit down and check your guy out one time. So I just figured some drone clips would be nice to look at. I also thought about doing like switching it up sometimes and maybe doing like, some dancing, stuff like that, or even being on the tables. I almost got on the tables to start off the show. I'm not going to lie to you. I had an idea to do so, but it would actually require me to, switch cables, and you guys have to wait. So I didn't do it, but I'm going to do it one time. I'm definitely going to do it. G Kenny in the building. Thank you for being on time, G Kenny. Yes, I do fire immediately. If you are not going to be on time, I will fire you. I am not playing. I do not deal with tardiness. Let me just stop. I appreciate you, G Kenny, for being here, man. G Kenny is one of our moderators, and he's going to keep us all nice and straightforward here today. Keep you guys in check for the most part, as much as he can. Let's see. So Entertainment DJs. Hopefully none of the kids come ask him anything. This is the best time for them to ask something right now. Now, wait a minute. This looks like G5, but G5, you done added some numbers to your username. What's good? What's happening? I mean, I still know you as G5, but I don't know what happened, but it's all good. I see G Kenny doing his work, and G Kenny even asking as well. What's going on with the name change? Eric Simpay, is that how you say that? I hope I said that right. Hey Jay, able to finally catch it live after 6 or 7 months. I'm just catching it on the replay. The big house shown in the intro, is that your home? No. The big house, every clip that I put on there for a drone shot is 100% from a gig. I've DJ'd at each one of those places, and I just got drone footage for whatever reason. I don't know what to use with it, so I just put it together, a compilation. Even the baseball field, I've DJ'd not on the field, but on, in the boxes that are behind the field. I've DJ'd there. I've DJ'd in a couple of areas that are around there, but every clip is from a venue. So it just kind of gives you like a visual of what it's like to be here, the different venues that, I get to DJ at, because these are the most accurate ones. These are the ones that I do the most events at. So just kind of giving you guys a glimpse of Colombia. Now, I don't know what happened. I updated one day and it's been like that ever since. Oh, okay. Well, it is what it is. James King, what's up, man? Now, James King, I was on his show last night. We had a good time, man. We were chopping it up for about an hour, and it was pretty cool to be on somebody else's show because I like for them to have to run the show and me not have to come up with stuff to keep you guys entertained. I just get to answer questions and answer them to the best of my ability, which is really nice. So, we had a good time last night. He's got the replay up. If you guys want to check him out, you can check out his channel. He's got all the information that we talked about last night, and we're just going to cover some more stuff today that we didn't get to talk about last night because I've got some stories for you. Yeah, I've got some stories for you. Benny Blanco, let's see. It's nice and sunny here in Southern California. Benny Blanco. I feel good today. I'm not gonna be. You know what? Screw it. That's bullshit. Man, how you getting sun and sunshine and like people in Florida and people in California, they got like 70-degree weather right now. Like, it pisses me off to the fullest. Like, I'm not saying I don't like the cold. I love the cold. I just don't like the brick cold. Like give me a nice 50, in between 50 and 65. And I'm good. I could do 50 or 65, but that 30 and down to 0, and I think some of the football games were played in like negative temperature. Like, come on, bro. That's miserable. Nobody can survive that. That's crazy. DJ Mikey Mike, oh, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you stopping through, bro. All right, so I think I got everybody. Good. All right, now let's get to some topics and everything here, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing rocking and rolling because I know some of you guys are on lunch break. Some of you guys are in your office, and this is giving you an hour away from your job. And hopefully nobody comes up and interrupts you while we're on the chat today. That would help, right? So let's do that. All right. First thing we're going to talk about today. I had a wedding last week. You remember I told you guys that I had a wedding coming up and that it was going to be that inside-outside feel. Well, it was outside-only feel. It for sure was. Like, it's January, guys, and it's, high 20s, and we're out, the reception and the cocktail hour for me is outside. It's 100% outside. So, I don't know if that affected this young lady's guest count or anything like that, but this is the amount of people that were in the building. I'm posted up right where my face is right now. I'm posted up back there. They've got a lot of people in the wedding party, but remember, this is the playlist that I absolutely could not wait to play. But when you take a look at the people who are in this crowd, I'm not sure how I got away with playing what I played. And I'm about to show you some dancing clips here in just a second, but let's just say I was very nervous, not about DJing, but playing that format of music, which was 97% early 2000s, 2010 hip hop, like straight hip hop, like Webby, who else they had me play? Lil Wayne, they had me play, Rich Boy, they had me play. Oh, you know what? I think I still got it right here. I can tell you some of the artists here. Hold on a second. Let's see. I could tell you some of the other ones. They went to some of the deep hip hop, like not the radio cut. Like we were on the album cuts of some of these tracks. Let's see. Here it is. So we had artists like Big X the Plug, Shop Boys, Ray J, Webby, Ray Sherman, Soldier Boy, Kendrick, Trey Songz, Drake, DJ Cool, Juvenile, UGK, Snoop Dogg. Let's see, Lil Bootsy, Kid Cudi, Young Buck, Duro. Who else? Outkast. That was some of the older music they wanted. T.I., Shaggy, Bubba Sparks, Mike Jones, Yin Yang Twins, Crime Mob. Oh, that was fun when we played Crime Mob. Moneybagg Yo, Fetty Wap, Savage, E40. Let's see, Q for OG Bobby Johnson. You guys remember that track? I don't know if you guys remember that track. I mean, it was good for what it was. I definitely remember that. Chingy, Lil Jon, Nelly, OT Genesis, Juicy J, Waka Flocka. So this is like heavy 97% hip hop. And I asked her before we got started, whether or not we were going to kind of go slow, ease into it, and then hit it hard. She said, no, right out of the gate, I want to hit it hard and roll with it. Like, no questions asked, let's just do it. So I was like, cool. So problem with that is it's 29 degrees outside and it is freezing. So mainly when people got finished with dinner, we had a great portion of these guys leave because it was super, super cold. And we also had like a winter advisory going on where they said like the roads were going to be bad and sleet was going to come down. So if you weren't cold, you were concerned about your travel. And I think that's why she didn't have, as many people as she'd like to have. So let's look at a couple of clips here from that night. So this is a couple of clips here. You can see that the plastic is up on the sides to keep some of the the air out. And there's a fire going in the fireplace back there. My helper Rick was definitely recording this gentleman here. This gentleman here had been at 4 of my events, so he takes his shirt off every single time. So it was pretty cool. But this is what we were down to. But this is our bride here with our photographer back there, and just a really good friend of theirs. And they had a good time, but it was super cold, super cold. So that was that one. And then here's the other one where you could see this was probably the most people that I had on the dance floor the entire night. But this is all open here, guys. Even with that plastic up, there are heaters right above the plastic. If you look right above it, you'll see like little orange lights. Those were the heaters, and that was all the heat we had. You don't even see those hi-hat heaters anywhere. This was all the heat that we had. And then there was kids there. So there were things that were against me that entire night. There was definitely things against me. And that was one of them. Kids, the temperature, and the dangerous roads all played a part and gave us in my terms, a mediocre night. Now to them, she loved it. She loved everything that I did. She got compliments from other people, liking the music, liking how I mixed the music. I didn't really get a whole lot from this because I couldn't get a lot of reaction from this. So, I mean, these are the only clips that I really, really got from them. But it's just insane. It was insane. It was insane to be out in that type of element and DJ 4. I mean, there was I said this on James's show last night. When I first got there, let me see if I can blow myself up here. There we go. When I first got there, there was a vehicle that had already been there, and they had their door open, And I guess they were just unloading everything. But out of their tailpipe, I guess water had been running out of their tailpipe, and the water had frozen from the pipe. So if this is the opening here, the water was coming down like this, and it was frozen all the way to the ground. So it looked like a waterfall going down to the ground, but it was frozen. So like I said, I don't know how long that she was there or that person was there. I can't remember if it was a man or woman driving. But yeah, it was crazy. It was insane that we were still doing this in this way. But we got through it. The young lady was happy, and that's all that matters. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But I don't think that this is the end of my cold weddings this year. I mean, I've got 3 in February, and February is usually just as cold as January here in South Cac. I'm pretty sure any place else it's the same way, but it's going to be cold. So I anticipate that this isn't the last I've heard of these winter conditions. And I hope that these 3 brides coming up, I wish, I don't even want to look. I kind of want to look, but I don't want to look because I don't want to start getting upset at the fact that we are outside. Like, how can you make people endure this weather? It's crazy. It's crazy, but they do it and they love it. So it is what it is. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about here. So I got a new video that drops today. It should have already dropped. What is it? 12 o'clock now? Yeah. It's 12 p.m. EST on this Thursday. So it has already dropped where I show you guys the difference between the 2 options that the audio interface company Sonido sent me. And they wanted me to do a review video of it. And it is complete and it is out right now. If you guys want to check it out, there are links and everything in the description below. If you will, not this link here, but on that video, there are links and everything for the video. If you would like to purchase those. But it's amazing because, like, when I first started live streaming back in 2020, these right here were the options. Let me see. I think I got another one too. Yeah. Let me blow this up real quick. So, I've got like the series of iRigs. I've got all of these right here. And I love these things. I love them. The only problem with them is that this one and this one take batteries, and this one, as long as it's got a connection into your phone and your left and right audio into your mixer, it works. It just turns on. There's no batteries. But the fact that you have to have batteries for these 2, it really irks my nerves. But I really like these because these have never failed me. Both of these guys are absolutely fantastic, and I thought that was the end all be all. This right here is really good for TikTok. That's why I keep it on hand just in case something happens. But guys, when I tell you that getting audio from your events with the camera setup that I've shown you with that Action Pro, the Sonido audio interfaces are some of the nicest and easiest to use. The ease of use with no batteries and still being able to charge your phone, because none of the ones that I just showed you charge your phone or charge your device while you're using it live stream. Both of these do. And all you have to do is just connect the lightning cable, the USB cable right into the bottom of it. And while you're live streaming, you can charge your phone. That is a game changer. So definitely check out the video. I talk about all of that in the video. Just want to let you guys know that video is available now. And it is, it's got some great stuff in it. Now, I also got, I'm working on the Mackie video. I was able to use the Mackies at the last event. I got some footage from it, but I have some ideas in my head on how I want to do the remainder of the video. So I will be shooting that coming up here soon. So in February, sometime mid-February, you should have a video about the Mackie speakers, but they are, they're great. They're great. I like them. I've got several options and several scenarios that they can be used in that I think are going to be great. So look for those in the near future. Look for those. All right. Next thing we got to talk about. Let's talk about some DJ Bar stuff. So DJ Bar had a video that came out here recently, and I watch all Bar stuff, man. I've seen his stuff. He is a great inspiration to a lot of us doing this mobile DJ thing. And he kind of changed courses with the video that he just recently put out. He put out a video that mainly talks about, you know, what almost made him quit DJing. Now, I know that he probably went a little overboard with it as far as if it really made him feel like that. But I know what he felt when he said, you know, things like, you know, people were kind of pushing, the couples were kind of pushing him in ways that he's not used to. You know, you can do 1,000 weddings, and if you get 3 of them that kind of talk crap to you or talk back to you or kind of give you a little pushback, it makes you second guess your abilities. And one of the things that happened to him, I mean, a lot of us go through a lot of the things that happened to him, but like he got that do not playlist, that 100 do not playlist song. Remember, I did a video on that where I finally got a bride who went all in on the do not playlist, and they just went ham. And it was because I allowed it on the Vibo app to be able to add that many do not play songs. But a lot of people these days are going to a lot of weddings and they are sick of hearing the same songs over again. So they're challenging us to do it without playing some of these songs. And so to hear him go through that and tell you guys that, I mean, that is, I mean, this DJ thing, it just gets more complicated as the years go on, but it's also a great learning tool and a great learning curve to have some adversity. Because I mean, think about it. If we just go get A+ all the time and never get a C or a D on something, you know, you kind of, that's where ego starts jumping in. That's where people kind of start feeling themselves like, oh, you know, I can't miss. Like, yeah, I'm not worried about it. But, you know, to get a C or a D on a test, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It kind of keeps you on your toes. Now, one of the things that I can also relate with from this video is that when he talked about his setup, and he said that the girl complained about the setup, saying that he ruined the aesthetics of her wedding. Now, I can definitely relate to that, and I probably should change some verbiage in that. But one thing that my clients have done is they tell me ahead of time. They tell me ahead of time, like, hey, as far as your setup and everything goes, like, what are you bringing? And I was like, oh, you know, I don't know. And she's like, I'm looking at your Instagram right now, and I don't like that one. I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, I think I kind of lucked up there because, you know, I probably was going to be in that same boat. If you guys remember when I had the event table too, that's like that cage that had the QR code in the square in the middle down there. I used to think that was, you know, that was cool to bring, but brides are like, hey, that does not match my wedding. Like, I do not want that. But nobody's ever come up to me and like gotten on my case or gotten my ass or anything like that and saying, hey, you know, you screwed up my day because of that. Like, nobody has done that, but they have given me the heads up prior to an actual wedding saying that, hey, if there's any way that you can use that setup, that would be fantastic. And I'm like, sure, let me add that to your ticket. Let me put that on the bill, because this right here is the basic one, and that right there is like top tier right there. So yeah, that's another reason why I've got multiple setups, because think about it. What if that event table was the only thing that I use for DJing and I didn't have another option? You know, you could easily lose gigs because of that. So that's why I switch up my setups here and there. I try to give people different versions so that they have options, because options options allow for people to still stick with you. If you don't have options, they're going to a place that does have options. Nobody wants to just be confined to one space and one thing. Now, of course, Barb will never be confined to one space or one thing. I mean, he's got multiple setups. He's got, that Toad setup. He's got, which is the TV, they call it Toad, but the Toad setup. He's got the behind the facade setup. He's doing different setups, and I'm sure he's going to get more, but you have to have alternatives. You definitely have to have an alternative, because all couples are not the same. They're not built the same, and they do not like it. One couple is like, oh, I don't care what you bring. As long as the music's fire, that's all I care about. And then other couples are like, hey, this has got to look immaculate. Like, the whole thing has to look great. So you just have to be mindful of that's going to happen. But I feel his pain. I definitely feel his pain. And, it sucks he had to go through that. It definitely does. It definitely does. But that was a great video to make stuff on, because pushback is always great. I was telling James on his show last night, when I did that video going over people's setups, I was given like a full critique of, everything that was happening. I was given a full critique of everything that was happening in the picture. And I was like, oh, I wouldn't use that. No, I don't like. And people were like, pushing back at me like, oh, bro, that's standard here. That's what, I get kicked back all the time. And then with my current video talking about the Rain System 1, which I want to point out that I'm seeing way more negative comments about it than I am positive comments. Just saying. I'm just going to put that out there. I know I'm going to get slack for that, but I'm still getting comments to this very day. And that video's been out for 2, maybe 3 weeks now. Still getting comments to this very day where people they don't want to change. It's like they set up one thing and that's the end all be all. That's just the one thing you're going to get. Like, if somebody says, oh, we don't want dots and stuff from your gig bar. Well, the only thing you've got is a gig bar, and you're not going, what are you going to do? Turn them off? They come with those dots. I mean, you could probably put them to a setting, but now you're not using the full potential of the gig bar. That's why I say have options, man. Have options. Always have options. It doesn't mean you got to buy everything under the sun for your DJ, for your clients, but buy things that give you an alternative. Buy things that you can make your money back on. Just simple stuff. Like, people love wash movers right now. Like, they don't have designs in them. Like, don't get a mover if it's filled with all these gobos. Those gobos are for birthday parties. They're not for weddings. I'll say it again. They're for birthday parties, not weddings. Therefore, we don't do a lot of birthday parties anymore. We're getting older. Our functions are weddings and private events. You're not going to have gobos in those. Stop buying those things. Get wash effect lighting. Stuff that washes the dance floor. Stuff that just gives a big pattern of one circle and changes color. We've got to get this thing a little bit more uniform. These dots and these lasers, like, look, I know Solstice uses lasers, and kudos to him. I don't know how he gets away with that, but a lot of people in Cali must like laser shows, fog, and all that. I can't even use haze at my events because venues don't even let me use haze. So I've got a haze machine that I can use probably once every 2 years. But I bought that thing thinking, oh, I can do like such and such does and let the haze run a little bit and it'll make the beams shine better. No, most places tell me I can't even use haze. That's why I haven't bought a CO2 thing, because I don't want it to be some type of hazard. I barely get away with cold sparks. Things like that are why I don't make certain purchases. Dancing on the Cloud. The reason I haven't purchased a Dancing on the Cloud and capitalized, so to say, on that is because a lot of venues say if that creates moisture, that's a hazard. You can't use it. And I'm just like, well, what's the purpose in buying this thing? I don't want it to just sit here. That's thousands of dollars. So that's why I say make your purchases make sense, give options, and, definitely check in your area to see who allows what. what can you do? What can you not do? And make your purchases accordingly. Like, I'm not going to buy a confetti gun or CO2 cannons, not the one you hold, but the ones on the ground. I think that some of those are pretty cool. I would love to, at a big point in the night that I hit a big song, or we're just getting hyped in, to hit that and 2 CO2 things go off. I would love that. But if the venue is like, no, we don't do that, then those are just sitting, collecting dust, just like the gig bars I have downstairs. By the way, anybody wants those, please let me know in the DMs or the comments. I will definitely see about getting those to you. I'm ready to move on. Otherwise, they're going straight in the trash. Just to let you know, 2 gig bars, no tops on them, just the gig bar itself, the 4 square lights. I got them in the beginning. I was about to say I'm a victim of that, but I am a product of that, and now I'm ready to get rid of them. So that's all I had and everything for today, guys. That's all I wanted to go over. I just wanted to talk to you about that. We've got no function this weekend. The 3 in a row gigs start in February. So next weekend and the weekend and the weekend, we'll have some gigs and everything coming up here. So at this time, we're just going to open up the floor to you guys and let you guys ask some questions here. Just make sure you give me the hashtag ask at the beginning of your question so I can make sure that I answer it to the best of my ability. If I can't, somebody in the chat, please throw your answer in the chat if you know whether or not the answer to that question. So let me know. Let's go back over some of these comments and everything. I saw the screen rolling up to my right over here. So let's see what we got here. I don't know if you guys may have been talking amongst yourself or what. So let's see what's happening. Let's see. James King, I'm going to have to check out the weekly show. All right. Yeah, definitely check out James King. Check out his channel, man. He's got, I think he just hit a little over 1,000 subs, which, allows that brother to get paid, man. You want to help him out and get him some views and holler at him. I think, his show, what's the day? Thursday. His show is on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So my time is 8 o'clock. His time is 7. So that's how that is on the East Coast, just in case you guys didn't know. And for you Cali people, you just do your own math. Our temp was at -9 at 8 a.m. Jesus. Isn't that the temperature that you could take a pot of hot water, throw it in the air, and it immediately turns to snow or something like that? Like it just missed out, like it doesn't even come down as water anymore. Like, I think that's the temperature that you can do that at. That would be nuts. I would like to see that. Like, if you could get a reel of that, hey, I just gave you a reel. That you take that and have somebody film you doing that. That's a reel, man. You're going to get views off of that. I love it when clients make us dig for tracks, especially ones that haven't played in a long time. For me, it keeps things fresh. It definitely does. And I definitely don't want to knock any clients that make you dig deeper, because sometimes we get in this repetitive mode where we're just like, oh, I know this works. Oh yeah, I know this works. Yeah, this one's going to work. Yep, this one worked at the last one. But if somebody really challenges you musically and says, hey, try to play this, try to play that. Like, I think Bar was, he's he got so nervous with it that he didn't even want to play another song from that artist. And I was thinking to myself, like, I'm not going to not play from from that artist. I'm actually going to dig for a song that would probably rock. I'll give you for instance, like Whitney Houston. Okay. So if the client says, no, I don't want to hear none of that. I want to dance with somebody. Does that mean that you guys are not going to play Whitney? I think for me, that means, okay, well, let's try How Will I Know? It's also upbeat. It's also a song that people would know, but that allows you to kind of dig and try to make that one work. Or if they say, I don't want to hear Uptown Funk. Okay, well, how about, whatever the new song he's got out? Or what about 24 Karat? I'm just giving you just some options here. What if they say, I don't want to hear Ice Ice Baby? Well, will you listen to, what's my guy's name that says, Bust a Move? I mean, would you listen to that? That's along that same realm of music. So that's why I'm saying, like, you don't have to, because, you know, Vanilla Ice didn't have another song. That's why I couldn't go to anything else. If you know another Vanilla Ice song, I'll be curious to know if you know it. Like, know it. Like, don't look it up. Like, if you know it and can put it in the chat, that would be fire, because I don't know another Vanilla Ice song at all. I never heard another one. I had never heard him featured on anything else. Literally, in my eyes, Vanilla Ice came out with that song and disappeared. In my eyes. So, yeah, I definitely like the challenge. One of my biggest pet peeves is little children at a wedding. I know that is a very controversial statement. No, that is not a very controversial statement. You know why? Because kids distract the parents. The parents are the ones who are dancing. That's why most of these newer couples are like, kids not allowed. So it's like, find a sitter for your Rugrats before you come to the wedding, so that you can have a good time and they're not distracting us. So no, you're not wrong in saying that. You are totally 100% within reason to say so, because I say it all the time. I've even told couples on our calls. I don't say, hey, you need to do it with no kids. I'm just like, they're like, such and such is bringing kids. I was like, well, you know, make sure you understand that, you know, if we're going to be playing this kind of music, it's clean, but it's not really kid friendly. And, you know, you guys might be doing well, maybe we'll have somebody watch those kids or something. You know, they'll kind of suggest it themselves, but I just kind of put it in their minds like, kids may not be the best option. Even the ones who are in the wedding, it's like, if you're in the wedding, like, okay, like, take your child and go do something. I did see one time, though. I did see this, and I thought that this was a great idea. I don't know who you would get or who you would hire, but I saw that at a venue, a couple hired a young lady, I think it was two young ladies, to watch all the kids that were there in a separate room. I thought that was a neat idea. That, I mean, still means that mommy and daddy can't get like obliterated on the dance floor. However, it allows you to have peace of mind that your child's being watched and you could still, you know, dance and have a good time. It's almost like you came without them. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea, but I've only seen it one time and nobody else has duplicated that. They probably should, though. They probably should look into that. Damn, man. With his shirt off in freezing cold. Yeah. Yeah. And he does that every wedding that I've DJ'd at that he's been to. He's been to 4 of my events now. I've kind of gone through their circle of friends as far as DJing for their weddings. And every single, even the first time I met him, he had his shirt off. And so it's like a tradition. It's like now when you see him, that's like his calling card. Like, we know his shirt's going to come off. So let's see here. I was a teacher for 16 years and we had saying, even on your worst day in the classroom, you are still a child's best hope. Yep. James King, I can't wait for the Mackie video coming soon. Damn, Jay, you were fast. I revisited that email and Sonata sent me the rigs as well. Excited to use them. Yes, definitely use them. I wish I would have just been a little bit more patient, but I saw a video from another DJ who had that solution, and I if I was just 1 week, I would have just waited 1 week before I bought it. But you know how we are as DJs. We come across something, we're like, I gotta have it. But the very next week, like I bought it off of Amazon, and then the very next week, the company hit me up and was like, hey, would you like to review? I'm like, God, son of a, yes, I'll review them. I'm thinking to myself, like, should I return the one from Amazon? No, I could just sell it. It'll be all good. Or to have a backup, either way. But yeah, they're great. They're great. They're so easy to use. I just can't wait to utilize it on this year's events. Every single one of them. Fellas, let's please hit the like button. You hear G Kenny, man. Hit that like button if you guys enjoying the content, enjoying everything putting out today. I put out a story today that went over like my checklist. It was like Reels, check. New video on YouTube, check. Going live today at 12, check. So, I'm trying to check all the boxes and give content so that you guys have something from me. So it's not like, where's Book? Like, you should be able to find me on every single platform. I went live on TikTok this past Tuesday. I was on there live. DJ Mike, who's helps me DJ at events sometimes. DJ Mike was he's starting to develop a following. He had like 20 people on his live stream, and he wanted me to test out the Sonido and everything. And so I hooked it up to the Action Pro right downstairs, and I went live on TikTok, and I was on there for about an hour and a half. And so like I'm on every platform, guys. I'm on every single one of them. I'm about to create another mix for you to have for, the gym, the car, for whatever. I've got it all tooled together. I just got to record it, and it'll be on Mixcloud. So I'll have some new stuff, hopefully by the beginning of the month here. So definitely stay tuned with that. But yeah, keep up with me. All things DJ JayBook, every platform. DJ Eric W7, I've been DJing for 25 years, and I guess I have been just lucky. I've never been given the dreaded 100 do not playlist. Now that I've said that, I'll probably get that. Yeah, you just put yourself in line for that. I was telling everybody on James' show last night that I had a bride who controlled the entire playlist. Like I've had a bride who literally, she told me, do not deviate from this list. Like don't do anything outside of this. And I did that. But I saw that it wasn't gaining traction, and I don't like being at events. It makes the event go longer, and it makes the event aggravating if people are not dancing. So I saw that people were not dancing. I started to kind of deviate away from it just a little bit. And boy, she came up and reminded me, hey, is that on my list? She was like, if we could just get back to the list, like the list is where it's at. I'm like, when people came up to me and said, hey, could you go back to what you were playing? I was like, sorry, this is what the bride wanted. I had to put it on her, man, because they wasn't going to hold me to that standard. I'm sorry. I don't play stuff like that. So pretty cool. Let's see. So Entertainment DJ says, I have 3 setups and my clients can mix and match what they want. That's dope. That's fire. People used to ask me all the time, why do I have multiple setups? And this is for that very reason, so that people have options. I love when people have options, because either way, we're going to make money off of it. Either way. Let's see. DJ Fat Mac, yo, bro, just tapping in. Great poll question. I'm pretty sure you guys already covered it. Actually, I didn't. If you guys want to take a look at the poll question that's in the chat, I just want to gauge an idea of how many songs you guys typically play during the course of an event. And it looks like at this point, 60% of you say you play between 51 and 100 songs. So definitely vote on that in the polls that's in the chat. I'm just curious to see. I think my average is anywhere from 75 to 135. That's usually my range. So definitely let me know. Let me know in the chat, and let's see what gains the most traction there. Oh man, here you come with the gig bar hate. Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. G Kenny, I bet you got a gig bar right now. I bet you that thing ain't got doesn't even have a knot on it. I bet you it's got a screw that's loose on it. I bet you one of the lights flicker. See, G Kenny, you wouldn't say that if you didn't already have one. See, if you didn't have one, then you would be like, oh man, leave those guys alone. But see, you saying, oh, here you go. So I feel like you've got one. G Kenny, let me know in the chat if you've got a gig bar. Let me know in the chat if you rock a gig bar. That should have been the poll question. Do you rock a gig bar still? Will you rock a gig bar? You know how I feel about those guys. Benny Blanco, 5128 says, have you ever dealt with DJ groupies? I'm married, but damn, temptation as a mother. Only drunk ones. You guys know who I'm talking about. The bridesmaid or the guest that gets too drunk and grabs onto your DJ equipment and decides that they want to dance right in front of you and put on a show for you. Yeah, I get plenty of those. Or the drunk ones that want to dance behind the board with you at the same time. You saw it. I just put out a video about people being behind the board. But yeah, I get those. I get those all the time. I just, smile because look, people are initially looking at you to see what you're going to do. So I can't exactly do the famous pose, the famous push to the side while he's DJing on the board. That's what I want to do, but I can't exactly do that. So yes, I have encountered that. Yes, it is a real thing. Will it happen again? Absolutely. People when you could definitely tell when people are feeling the music, but feeling the liquid courage even more. But yeah, usually it's liquid courage. I don't have a lot of people kind of stay in their lane when they haven't been drinking. People usually tend to stay in their lane. So it's been good. Now in my younger days, there was some issues and stuff back then, but hey, we grow out of that. That's the young DJs' problems now. The older DJs, we're good now. We good. It's just the drunk ones we got the stiff arm here. Let's see. Turner Music 1797 hot take. I thought Barr was wrong in his video. He does high-end weddings. He should have checked with the bride, but the do not playlist was on point. I hate the do not playlist too. Well, look. When you have done as many events as he has done, that is probably one thing that he may have it may just be an oversight. It could have just been a small oversight. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt only because he does so many events and hasn't encountered this problem on many occasions. Like this was like a random. I mean, the way he tells it, it was just a random gig, and like the girl even hit him back the day after. Like it was crazy because he had went on to another gig. Like during that gig, I'm sure that Barr talks to his couples, before the gig. When he gets there, he sees them. When they get there and they're dancing, they see him. After everything is done, he usually thanks them and talks to them. And I'm sure that this young lady probably never said anything to him. Never said one thing to him. And then the next day she was just like, and she could have been drunk. Who knows? But the next day for her to reach out like that is like, I know that you know what this guy is capable of. I mean, he's got content and everything everywhere. Like, he has this, everything that he brings. Like, you didn't just pick him out of the blue. So I don't know if I disagree with what he said. I think that he moved how he always moves, and he just figured that it wouldn't be a problem because it is all black. I would think that people have a problem with mine because I mix and match. Like my speakers are black, my poles and everything are black, but my tables are white. I refuse to get white speakers. I just refuse to, man. I don't want to have to look for white speakers. So you're either going to get an all black setup or you're going to get a little black and a little white. But I just do not want to look for all white setup. I don't. And that's why I put pictures and everything up on social media so you can see it. When I send over my brochures and everything to couples, I try to send the most up-to-date picture of my setup so you can see it. So you can't tell me you did not see what I offer. So, I mean, I look, everybody got their opinion, and that's your opinion on it. That's just my opinion. So that's all I wanted to give there. That's it. Young MC. We're waiting on you at the NAMM show. We were waiting for you at the NAMM shows. So Friday After Dark, man, it's a goal of mine to actually, to actually go to the NAMM show. I do want to attend one time, but I promise you the one time that I attend, somebody is going to get me out there. I just don't feel like I'm going to fly myself out there and pay to stay out there for something that I probably could have waited for Expo and saw closer. You see what I'm saying? So like if a company wants me to say something on their behalf out there, or anything like that, that's a different story. But just me going by myself, I probably will never attend NAMM. Like if you see me out there, somebody flew me out there. So but I'll leave that to you guys, man. I'm not knocking NAMM. I'm not saying NAMM is a bad thing, but I mean, Expo is the same thing. If I wanted to go to it, it's the exact same thing, but it's just more DJ centered, in my opinion. NAMM is like music in general. It's all types of music, as far as instruments and things to use. But Expo is DJ centered. Like it's all about DJ centered. And I also wouldn't mind checking out the Pittsburgh Summit. For some reason, that looks kind of cool as well. I might check something like that out, but I just miss it every single year. But we'll cross paths one time, Freddie. Hopefully. DJ Fat Mac asks, what do you do when a client has a particular artist on their do not play list like Taylor Swift, but yet still list a Taylor Swift song on their request list beforehand? Well, that's something that I'm an attention to detail type guy. Okay, so if I see Taylor Swift on the do not play list, I'm going to ask, I'm going to ask during our meeting, are we talking about all Taylor Swift, or are you talking about just these songs? So I just make sure that I clarify that during our Zoom call to make sure that we're on the same page. Because like I've had that before. I've had people say no Taylor Swift or no Bruno Mars, and then you look at the must playlist and they've got Uptown Funk and We Belong together, or We Belong, whatever it is. You Belong With Me. So, like I said, I just clarify that. But I'm an attention to detail type of person. I look through. Like when I send that Vibo link out and people look at it and go through it and add stuff to it, before I get on the meeting, I look through their songs. I'm just like, oh, okay. Because it's a topic of conversation. You're not just sounding like a robot. You're sounding like an actual person when you're having these meetings, if you can go over the music that they have on top of asking questions, because you're just trying to make sure you're on the same page and they relate to you more. Yeah, so I would definitely just use that as a talking piece. But yeah, I definitely confirm that and make sure that we're clear on that. Is it the artist or is it just a song? Vanilla Ice, Ninja Sulfur. No, I'm not going to let you cheat. I'm not going to let you cheat. DJ Eric, that's cheating, bro. That's cheating. That's cheating. That's from a soundtrack, and there's no way that you remember that off the top of your head. Oh man. Some municipalities here in my area require you to get a permit for cold sparks. Have a firefighter there during the event, which the DJ must pay for the permit and pay for. Yeah, I heard that this is a thing in multiple places. I think one time when I was scheduled for an event in Charlotte, they needed a lot more than here. Like here, there's no permits. There's no anything. Like venues either say yay or they'll say nay. Most venues are still at that no range. I think I've only got like 3 venues that'll let me fire off cold sparks inside. And I think like either 4 or 5 venues that will let me fire off cold sparks outside. So, they're still real picky here, but they don't do anything like having permits or anything like that. They just take their precaution. I think the most that I have to do right now is there is one venue who they always send me a insurance liability thing. So I'm just like, oh, well, let me make sure I get my day of insurance together. And it's through Canopy. Before you ask, it's through Canopy. Look it up. It's a great day of insurance to be able to get. I think it covers up to like 500,000 or $1,000,000 or something like that. So Canopy, that's who I use. Oops, didn't mean to put that on twice. Aaron the DJ, hey Jay, and everyone in the chat, what's going on? Let's see. Turner Music asks, do you guys have limits? Like after watching Bar's video, I think even his is too much. He had 10 do not. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. That's a great question. So yeah, after that 100 that I got on mine, I, changed the limit to like, I think it's like 20. I think it was 20 on there because I think that's 20 is reasonable. You don't expect somebody to put 100 when there's 100, but I just never changed it because that was like the default for it. You know, the default when you set up that category, the default was 100 songs. But I changed it once that happened. I changed it to like 20. Probably should come down to like 15, but most people keep it right. Most people can tell me what they don't want to hear within like 7 to 10 songs. So most of my couples do that. They keep it within 7 to 10. So I don't have a problem with that, but 75 is way too high. Yeah, 25 would probably be good. Like I said, I do 20, 15, will probably tell you everything that you need to know. I don't think you'll have a conversation after 15. Like if they can put 15 in there, I think that'll be their max. I think so. Let's see. So Entertainment DJs, when and how did you start DJing? Maybe you've talked about this before. I have. I have talked about this before, but I can tell it again. It's all right. It's a quick story. So I was working at a retail store. I was working at Circuit City, back in the day. Shout out to anybody who remembers Circuit City. But, yeah, I was working there and I had no inclining of DJing at all. Never had done it, never had asked about it, never had seen it. Cause I don't even think I attended a wedding before that time, if I'm not mistaken. Like this is how green I am, I was to DJing. And this was back in like 2000 and I want to say like 2005, something like that. And there was a gentleman there who had already been with a company who had been DJing, and he was also on the radio. And he used to always leave the job early. And I would be like, man, what are you going to do? Like, why do you have to leave? And he's like, well, I have a wedding that I have to do. And I said, well, what do you do? He said, I'm a DJ. And I'm like, you? Like, this guy didn't look like a DJ or what I thought a DJ should look like. He did not look like it. And, he kept doing it. So one day I asked him, I told him that I could do his job. I was like, DJ, and I know music. I could do music. And he was, pretty much saying that, I couldn't do what he does. And I said, well, just let me tag along. And I did. And when I tagged along and I saw he was playing music that I had never heard before, like during that time, my music knowledge was here. And, now it's here, but my music knowledge was here. I had 3 categories that I knew music from. And because of my cousin, I knew like a trickle of one more category. But for the most part, I was hip hop, R&B, and jazz. That's it. That's all I knew. That's all I ever heard. That's all I listened to. Like, that was it. That was everything that I knew. And when I went with him, he knew all of this. And so he was playing songs I'd never heard of before. And I saw people dancing and I was like, I think I can do this. And, he pretty much showed me the ropes, and I just kind of took what he showed me, and I kind of flipped it the way that I wanted it to be. Like I felt like people would move a little bit more, and that's what kind of created me. So that's what kind of started it. I learned how to beat match before I learned how to do anything, and if you can beat match, you can entertain a crowd. Because crowds normally didn't care about scratch. And now I just incorporate some of that here and there. And that's all she wrote. Good question. Let's see. I allow a couple to give me. Yes, it turns to like crystal, like snow. Wow. Do you ever get? Oh, here we go. Do you ever get complaints that 15 minutes plays is? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do you ever get complaints that 15-minute plays is too little? I'm not sure I understand that. You may have to say that in a different way, Turner Music. I'm not sure I understand what you're asking there. Let's see. When is it? Okay. Oh, waiting for you to join the show Wednesday night. Okay, long time to see your brother. Blah blah blah. During the thing, play that funky music. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I know he's got it. Well, do we count that? If he's doing karaoke, do we count that? Mikey Mike, do we really count it? Having too many setups is actually a bad idea. The whole point of Barr's video is that he changed the setup and she got mad. And I think that, whoa. Let's rewind that again, Turner. The point of his video was that he brought what he thought would work, and she didn't like the aesthetics that it brought to her event. I definitely do not think having multiple setups is a bad idea. I 100% disagree with that. I definitely think that if you have multiple setups, you are not held to a certain standard of setups. People have options, and I don't know about you, but I don't know a retail company, not saying that we are a retail company, but we are selling a product, which is us. I don't know of a retail company that gets by with selling the gear towards one thing that they're selling. You have to have options for people to stay and come back to your store. So I think that he just rolled in what he thought would work at that venue, or just keeping it simple based on what they asked for. You know, if they just kept it simple, he was keeping it simple. He didn't have to bring the big totems and all this stuff. So he just had speakers. He had his TV stand and, lights, and that's it. So I definitely don't think that it was his fault there. I definitely don't fault him for that. Let's see. I seen your post on IG, and I'm pretty sure your question came from the girls talking about quick mixing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because now I know that they're on the West Coast. I think that show is done. They had like a Vegas residency, if I'm not mistaken. I watched that episode of podcast from Club Killers, and I believe they're on the West Coast. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I have that same problem here, because as long as you keep the flow of the music going and flow into something else, or transition into something else, and the girls get the meat of the song, I usually don't have much problems here with that. But for girls to point that out, I mean, I know they're mainly talking about club DJs, but for girls to point that out means that they are paying attention, and the DJs are moving too fast. It's like, I'll give you an example. It's like taking the whoa out of living on a prayer. Like if you take out the whoa, that's the main part. You want to play that because that's why you played the song. It's not for the na 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 na. Nobody cares about that. It's always the whoa, we're halfway. So like you take that out of the song, and it's like, why did you play the song? Like you cut the song before you got to the part. So, I mean, I kind of understood where they were coming from, but I mean, a couple people kind of informed me and said it's definitely how you mix the song. Like, at what point do you mix the song? And that makes sense. That makes total sense. Let's see. My daughter is getting married next year, and no one under 21 will be invited. Oh, wow. Wow. Kudos to her. Kudos to her. That's going to make for a great night. Like, for real, for real. James King, what do you think Jay feels about gig bars? I think you know that, Stevie Ray. I think you know that. So entertainment DJs, if you had a son or daughter getting married and they asked you to book the DJ, who would you hire? and I didn't have to work, like I get to enjoy the night. Probably my man DJ Silver Knight, man. DJ Silver Knight. Like I want him to do my wedding. Like so if I feel like he's good enough for me, I would probably offer his services to the kid too. So my son, my son would get like a DJ Silver Knight. Now, my son is 24. No, he's 23. So if he don't hurry up, DJ Silver Knight might, he might age out because, once we get to a certain point, he might age out. He might not know the music anymore. Let's see. All right, they're talking to James. Here we go. Have you ever had something happen that it made you update your contract? Absolutely. 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 Deposits. Deposits and cancellations will make you update your contract the fastest. When people start saying, oh, such and such, they called it off and everything, you get, we don't get nothing back. Especially if you just paid a deposit. That was just the whole day. I do apologize. I'm sorry for anything that you and your family may be experiencing at this moment. But yeah, it clearly says deposit non-refundable. I had, especially after COVID, I had to do that too. Because I had to give a lot of money back. I had to give a lot of money back because that was not in the contract. So, but you live and learn. But those are the two things off the top of my head. Come to find out, she doesn't like Taylor Swift, but everyone else on her sister. I found out. Oh, okay, you talking in the chat. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. His fault. She knew the white setup and he changed it. That's why I stick to one. Book. Do you? Let's see. Do you organize your music in crates or folders? Absolutely. Absolutely. I do it as music comes in. I label where I got it from. So when people say, where'd you get that version of it from? It's like, I don't have to think about it. It's already labeled in the comments. And I make sure that I categorize it on my folders on the left side. Absolutely. Every time I download music, I do that. What's good? What's a good game plan for me to rebrand myself and are you attend the expo this year? If you're going to rebrand yourself, man, that's a tough thing, man, because like if you go through rebranding, you have to make sure that you come out with like this, like you want to get a pop, like they call it in wrestling a pop. So you definitely want to make sure that people are like, who is this guy? Like if they didn't know you before, they damn sure know you now. So I would say, the more things that you can have digitized, that where it happens digitally, I would say the way you present content, the way that you send out information, the way that you advertise, all of that comes with your rebranding. Like your website can be redone. Now, I don't know how many hats that you can wear that you can do yourself, but if not, you're going to be looking at paying a lot of people for a full overhaul. But there are people out there that can definitely get you on the right track. But those are things I would do. If I had to start over and rebrand, I would go down that path. I would do that. I would update everything. Everything has to take on a new car, shiny look. So, especially ads and promotions. If you're the type of person that needs to do that or wants to do that, I would definitely rebrand those and make those pop. Not just your, hi, I'm John Silver, and today I'd like to talk to you guys about getting married. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have it to where, like, you're showing, craziness, people having a great time, couples talking to you, like, all kind of stuff. So, yeah, just keep it entertaining without going overboard. Man, you learn how to scratch before you beat match? That's tough right there. That's actually kind of dope too. All right. In regard to the pin question, how many hours is the event? Normally like a 4 to 5 hour, like a typical wedding, like 4 to 5 hour, 6 at most, but anywhere in between those hours. And then you say, I was just talking with some friends last night about how DJs need to stop quick mixing so much. Yeah, you can kind of get in a habit. Like, I can definitely tell that my quick mixing makes it harder for me to DJ on other platforms like Twitch and TikTok, because Twitch and TikTok, you could really let the whole song play. Like, if you're a whole song person, you should definitely be playing on Twitch and TikTok, because people who watch that and people who will sit there and consume your content, they will be there for the whole show. So, like, if you got a 4 minute song, play it. If you got another 4 minute song behind it, play it. Just make sure you transition that thing over at the end of the song, and that way it just feels like there's no gap. But me, I get on TikTok and, man, I'll sit there and play 75 songs in an hour. And really, I should be playing like 20 to 30 songs and get away with it. But I get in trouble because I keep quick mixing. But I mean, I'm known for it. People love it. And I've got enough music to go through. I know cue points and songs. So it's a catch-22, man. It's interesting. It definitely is. Let's see. 99% of venues want you to have insurance. No insurance. No come into DJ when I use next insurance. Nice. That's, man. It is so strict in other places, man. It is, wow. I don't know how you guys do it sometimes, but I guess that would be the norm if I actually was in that state or that city as well. But yeah, here I guess I just need to appreciate the fact that we don't have a whole lot of that. I've definitely seen guests complain about DJs moving too fast between songs. Think we as DJs need to get back to letting songs breathe and building up to the best part. Yeah, I get it, and I think it's still I think it's still a preference type deal, but I'm still getting a lot of clients who tell me, like, I don't want to hear the whole song. I don't want to hear it played like it's always played. So there are DJs who are out there that are still playing full songs, which now I have to change my perception of them and not say that they're just old. I'm just going to say that some people preference that, and some people want the faster pace. Now, I can tell you that this new generation, your 20s to right before your 30s right now, everything that they're consuming right now is fast paced. I mean, you even think about it, like, most people right now get mad if YouTube puts a 30-second ad on the screen. So, like, if you click on a video and you got a 30-second ad, you're like pissed, but you're not even realizing that you're consuming what you want to consume, and it only is going to take you 30 seconds, whereas commercials on TVs, when you were watching shows in the past, used to take 5 minutes. Like, in between when the show started and it went to commercial, it would be a 5-minute break. Now it's only taking you 30 seconds, but 30 seconds is long, or 55 seconds is long now. So, like, in this era where people are consuming faster content, and they're just like, they want the brain to feed more, you'll see people start to move away from long form content. You'll see a lot of people making 30-second videos. I mean, I know they gave us more room on the back end to make like a 3-minute video, but who watching 3-minute videos? That's too long in some people's eyes. That's too long. I mean, I think TikTok now has where you can make a 5-minute video. Ain't nobody watching all that. I mean, my videos lately here have been anywhere between 30 and 45 seconds. Like, if I do anything over a minute, my analytics say that you guys do not watch that for more than 20 to 30 seconds. That's what analytics say. Unless they just driving me to make shorter content. Either way. So I don't know if letting music breathe is the answer. I just say everybody shouldn't get quick mixing. Like, every event shouldn't get quick mixing. You should pick and choose your spots. This is correct. I would totally agree. I saw that post and I'm DJing. My 18-year-old sister says she hates DJs and that doesn't and doesn't like mixing. Yeah, how about the guy that was also on that show who says I hate when a DJ scratches? Now he went a little too far with that. I mean, you know, you certain stuff you can't say. You can't be in the culture and say certain stuff like that. The whole point of DJing from the beginning was scratching. It was redirecting the song to play in a different way. And scratching was the number one thing involved in that. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say, well, that's not what the radio DJs say. Yeah, I get it. They were radio disc jockeys, but we're talking about DJ, like playing music in front of a crowd in the beginning started with scratching. It just did. So how could you not like scratching? Oh, man. Those youngsters be killing me. I feel the same way. It's a science. You have to keep the bangers and the main parts of the songs. I think some of us mix out too quick all the time. Yeah, absolutely. You just got to know your music, guys. Just know your music. I think it's more of a test about knowing your music. I think if you know your music, then you know the thick of things, parts to play and everything. The poll has now jumped up to 50% of you say you play at least 101 to 200 songs. 50% of you. That's crazy. All right, a few more of these questions and I'm going to get out of here. Let's see. I bought an iDJ Now pod mixer. My nephew's DJ forgot about the grad party. So I'm sorry, I got a notification. So I ran out and picked up with two 10-inch speakers and a preamp and a wired mic. That was 20 years ago. Holy cow. Holy cow. That's crazy. I bought the mixer at Circuit City. That's fire. That's fire. That's fire. Let's go. Contracts are always being updated because new things happen that you didn't think of before and learn from it. Absolutely. Let's see. Spin Griffey, I'm more of a hook verse hook person. Hold on. Let's see. You're more of a hook verse hook. What do you got? That may be my next poll question next week. Like, do you prefer, when you're quick mixing, do you do verse, hook, and then come out? Or do you do hook, verse, hook, come out? I'm a verse, hook, come out, or just like he said, I'm a hook, verse, hook person. That's how I quick mix. I'll skip to the third verse if the song is like that. Right. Like if there's a featured artist on the track and the main artist gets two verses, then yeah, I'll jump to verse 3. Or if the featured artist or the last verse is what everybody sings, like no hands, and you needed to jump to the end and Roscoe Dash, you could jump right to that part. And that be the song. Like, it'll say, the chorus will be at the beginning and then right when it gets to the end of that first chorus, jump right to Roscoe Dash and then move on. Because that's the part that everybody want to sing anyway. They want to sing the hook and they want to sing the chorus. I mean, they want to sing the hook and then they want to sing the verse, the most memorable verse, and then the hook, and then we out. Good mid mix, 2 verse, 2 chorus, 2 minutes per song. That doesn't always work every song, but I get what you're saying right there. What's good, DJ Insurance? Everybody's going to have an opinion about this, but I use Canopy, Canopy. That's what I use for day of insurance. I think DJ Mikey Mike said something about like Next Insurance, something like that. You can go back in the chat and take a look, but he said, I think he said something about the insurance called Next. That's what I do at weddings. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Okay, it's very audience dependent because watching Jazzy Jeff streams, he's letting the song play. That just depends on what stream you're watching. When you watch some of his streams, he give you a verse or two, and then he out. But for the most part, he'll give you two verses. He will. He's a 2-verse guy. Well, remember on stream though is when you can play more. That's what I was saying earlier. Like on TikTok and on Twitch, you can cover more time. Like my man Silver Knight gets on there. I love when Silver Knight gets on stream. He's easy to watch. He plays great music all the time. I get so many ideas and songs that I haven't played in a long time from him. When you watch him on there, he's giving you the majority of the song. He gives you like 3/4 of the song, and then he comes out. And then he comes out of it. Because on the streaming platform, you're trying to cover a lot of space. You're trying to cover a lot of time. Like playing 20 songs can give you an hour. Playing another 20 songs. And then if your playlist is filled with 60 songs, that's 3 hours. That's 3 hours of music. Think about that. Think about that. And, you know, on those platforms, you're trying to get longevity on there because more people will come join the chat or the live when you play longer. But if you're on there just quick mix out of this song, 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 you're not going to be able to hold on to the audience because you're moving too fast and you run out of music faster. Like when I play my 40 songs and it's done within the hour, I'm just like, oh man, I really could have stretched that. I went 20 songs, over because I didn't just let the song play. So yeah, when you're streaming, it's a little different than when you're doing it live. When you see Jazzy Jeff play a venue and somebody's recording him, the music is much different. It's much faster for the live crew, but he's definitely learned it to a science. 20 songs get you an hour. Let's see here. It depends on the content, but I usually watch long form content on TikTok. Most of the videos I watch are between 3 and 5 minutes. Crazy. My planner has 3 option checkbox. Nice. that part. Quick music, play the whole song. Scratching is like putting salt and pepper on your steak. You have to know how much too much. Absolutely. There's a DJ that took him saying he hates DJs that scratch and made it into Scratch Tool and flamed him with Scratch. Most select let the DJ cook because it makes sense, and that's why they hired us. True. I love when my couples say, hey, let's let that book cook. Love that. We now live in a world where instant gratification is demanded more than ever. It starts with things such as your internet being slow to load a page. People ask for results faster than ever, right? Because they tell us that you deserve faster stuff. I mean, look at your phone. Your phone has been updated since you actually started having cell phones. Like your phone has gone through a complete transformation where this is the fastest the phone has ever been. And of course, they keep advertising to us that, oh, this year's chip is much faster. And we're all sitting there like, no, it's not. Like, because real time, it looks like the same what we're already consuming. But if you go back to the iPhone 4 and you touch it and go to, and your capabilities and looking up stuff and how long it took to get, we're talking like night and day. We're talking night and day. These people have come light years. So yeah, the times are definitely are changing. All of the above, depending on the song, got to know your music. Yeah, absolutely know your music. Oh no, no hands. One of those ones you got to let the whole thing play. Yeah, but it's getting to a point where you might have to start picking and choosing your spots on that one. I know you can let the whole song play. And that, I might create a reel about that. Songs we need to start cutting in half. Who's on TikTok tonight? I'm not sure. Mr. Book, you should do a DJ TED Talk. Yeah, I probably should. I mean, that's basically what I'm doing here, right? Do you do a lot of instrumental mixes with vocal edits? Some. I would say not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I use more stems than anything, but not a whole lot. I've been watching DJ Jazzy Jeff for years since COVID came. Oh man, I've watched him way longer than that. But yeah, I'm glad you found him because he is the gauge. You know, you want to see the cleanest. I sometimes I try to see if I ever catch him mess up, but he's been doing it so long. It's almost like if you're a drawer, if you're somebody who can draw, an artist is never going to really mess up, because they know what they're doing. They've been drawing for forever. They only get better. So it's crazy because he never has. Book, are you creating your own edits of hooks versus hook verse, hook quick edits, or using pools? And what pools have you found work best verse hook edits? I use a lot of pools, but you know what really helped me out, and I'm so sad that they have something has happened, and I think it has something to do with copyright. But Patreon helped me so much with edits. I was not creating my own edits. I was looking at some people do some stuff on Ableton, and I'm just like, oh, that seems like that's nice, but I don't know if I want to sit down and do that. But like Patreon and going to different DJs and finding edits that they have created, man, I love playing unique edits from those guys. But my record pools that, I've used over time, I don't use BPM Supreme anymore. I did, but we kind of had a falling out, and I still use Direct Music Service probably the most. I use Heavy Hits. I used Club Killers for a while, but they have so much EDM. It's just not my cup of tea as far as record pool. DJ City is another one. Sometimes what I'll do is maybe I shouldn't say that. Just whatever. I'm sure they know people do it, but I'll just get their 1 month subscription and pay the $30 or something like that. And I will deep dive and just get 100 tracks that I don't have that I would just love to play, and I'll just deep dive in it. Because usually when I go to these record pools, I'm not just in there for 15 minutes. I'm in there for hours. Just deep diving, getting some stuff. So, yeah, DJ City is another good one. And Crate Connect has some good ones. The only problem is they don't have a lot of their older music. For older music, DMS usually is my go-to. They don't have everything, but they do have a good bit of it. They also have multi-genre music, which is good. For edit versions like acapellas or acapella ins and acapella outs, Heavy Hits is really strong for those, and they get new music really, really fast. So I will say that. In regards to Patreon, you're right. It was amazing. Some editors have gone underground. If you have someone you'd like to reach out to them and send out via email monthly newsletter updates, yeah, they definitely have options available now. But I just used to love it when it was just right down top, what's my man's name? Steve. Even Steve. Oh man, he would give some good ones. DeVille had some good ones. Lil Vegas still has some stuff up there. If you definitely want to check out Lil Vegas, he's got some great stuff on his Patreon. But there was somebody else, Mark Cutts. I got some great stuff from Mark Cutts, man. Oh man, Mark Cutts he did a phenomenal job. He's one of the main people that Joe LaBelle gets his stuff from, and I'm a huge Joe LaBelle fan. My Rushmore of DJs that I would like to interview on this show, if I had to get some big names, it's Scratch Bastard, Jazzy Jeff, Joe LaBelle, and DJ Popo as the ones that come to the top of my head right now. I mean, trust me, there's some other great DJs, but those are like my four. Like, if I could get one of them on here, which I was very close to one of them, I won't say who, but I was very close to getting one of them on here, but they had a scheduling conflict. But I'm going to get one of those four on here eventually. And you got to put it out there, because eventually, it will happen. All right, guys, I've been on here for an hour and a half. You guys were only supposed to have me for an hour. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Well, what are we doing? This doesn't make any sense. Now, you guys know I got stuff to do today, man. You're trying to get me in trouble, and now we're here. And, you know, I'm surprised my phone hadn't rung, because you're going to get me in trouble doing this stuff. So, anyway, I'm just joking, man. I appreciate you guys all coming out and checking me out. Thank you so much. We will be back next week, Thursday, 12 p.m. EST, for another great episode. I've already got some topics in mind, and we're going to talk about it. Let me end the poll. Let's see what won. And it looks like 52% of you said that you play at least 101 to 200 songs per gig between a 4-hour and a 6-hour span. Think about that. Think about that. When you say the DJs need to change the amount that they play, think about that. That's 27 votes. So I'm just saying, DJing is different for everybody, and it's different based on your region too. Really is. Oh, also, round of applause for me, as I did get my first destination wedding and first booking for 2027. It's going to happen. We'll talk about that as we get closer, but it definitely went through, and we are golden. We're going to have it. Destination wedding. You know your guy likes that. So look, I would love to do some West Coast destination stuff if it comes my way, but I'll take these as, you know, somebody wants me to come to their state and DJ for them. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Follow me on all social media platforms at DJ JayBook. I got content everywhere coming out. I had a lot of stuff come out today, so you guys enjoyed that. And we will see you next week. If you got events this weekend, knock them out the park. And as always, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. You guys are great. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.